Thank you for listening to my daddy's podcast. Please subscribe to our channel.
All I gotta say is, who that? Hey, what's going on, Who That Nation? It is yours truly, TJ Jones. And yes, I am the host of the State of the Saints podcast. And thank you all so much for checking out the State of the Saints podcast, where we talk New Orleans Saints. I really do appreciate your time, no matter where you are, wherever you may be. On this edition, we're going to be doing our predictions for the New Orleans Saints versus the New York Football Giants Week 5 matchup. Should be an exciting game nonetheless. But I appreciate you all for being here. And I want to let you all know that this show is brought to you by MyBookie. You can download the MyBookie app to place your bets. Available to you could be a $500 buy-in bonus. All right, you can get bet up to $500, and if you opt in that buy-in bonus, you'll have a chance to win your $500 back or get it back. All right, you can place your bets without feeling the pressures of losing your money. You'll actually be able to get it back. All right, all you have to do is use the promo code Saints. That's promo code Saints. But let's go ahead and get into it. Let's talk a little bit about the New York Giants taking on the New Orleans Saints, two teams that are led by young quarterbacks. You got Jaxson Dart, who is in his second start as an NFL quarterback. You have Spencer Rattler going into his 11th start as a starting quarterback. And of course, everybody knows, Spencer Rattler has yet to win a game as a starting quarterback. And, for better or for worse, it has been a topic of conversation. And of course, it has been subject to scrutiny when it comes to Spencer Rattler being the starting quarterback. But here's an opportunity for Spencer Rattler to finally get into the win column as a starter and get this monkey off of his back. But it would not be easy because the New York Giants have a really good defensive front. They got the rookie Abdul Carter, Kayvon Thibodeau, Brian Burns, and Dexter Lawrence. Now, Dexter Lawrence has been dealing, with an injury this week, dealing with an illness. He hasn't really been practicing, but at the end of the day, all reports indicate he may end up playing. I haven't seen the reports come out just yet, but at the end of the day, those four guys can really get after the quarterback. They have a really talented linebacker and a K and a solid secondary. But at the end of the day, we know that the Giants, they have had their struggles against the run. So I expect for the New Orleans Saints to try to run the football. Last week, the Saints took on the Buffalo Bills, and they understood that the Bills struggled against the run. So the Saints went out with a game plan, putting a heavy emphasis on the run. Now, if the New Orleans Saints can utilize Alvin Kamara and Kendre Miller, and also the returning Taysom Hill in the running game, and you add Spencer Rattler making plays with his legs, the New Orleans Saints should be effective as a rushing team. But also, I expect for the New Orleans Saints, if they were to find success, this could be the game where we see some passes go down the field. I know Saints fans have been looking for deep passes down the field, wondering where they are, but I just think that the opportunity really hasn't presented itself because the Saints haven't been as effective running the football. But if they can run the football like they did last week and, be able to get 4 and 5 yards per carry, I think that it could set up a down the field throw or, be able to, stretch the field just a tad bit. Like I mentioned, a return of Taysom Hill. Taysom Hill will be a part of this game. he will serve as the backup quarterback, which I thought was, very peculiar there. We know that Taysom Hill can do a multifaceted of things, but Taysom Hill has not been, a part of this quarterback conversation. But it just tells you what Kellen Moore thinks of Taysom Hill. We know that Taysom Hill has the ability to throw the football. And, also, I feel like this could be a really great advantage for the Saints in the red zone. They struggled, with red zone efficiency consistently over the last 4 games. I mean, they've been able to get into the end zone a few times, but not as consistent as you like. But adding the dynamic of Taysom Hill, maybe playing quarterback, little QB power, and also people have to understand that he can throw the football. This could be a really great advantage for the Saints. Offensively, even though the New York Giants don't have Malik Neighbors, he's out for the season, tore his ACL last week. Hope that brother has a speedy recovery. But they still have some talented guys. You got Wan'Dale Robinson who is out there. You still have Darius Slayton. You got Jalen Hyatt. You got a couple tight ends that can get busy as well. And also Cam Scatterboot, a running back, and Devin Singletary. These two will be the 1-2 punch for the Giants, as Tyrone Tracy, their starting running back, is still trying to return from an injury. But it's going to be one of those games where the New Orleans Saints are going to have to play sound defense, make sure that they're playing disciplined defense, making sure they're doing some sound tackling, and making it very difficult for the young rookie Jaxson Dart. Now, Jaxson Dart is a gamer. I don't expect for him to throw for 112 yards or 113 yards, whatever he had last week. I expect for Brian Daboll to open up the playbook for Jaxson Dart. The Saints have to be mindful that this guy can indeed scramble. And, he's one of those guys that's extremely physical. So they're going to have to bring him down on the ground. It's not going to be one of those situations where, he's going to slide. Like, you got to be able to bring him down on the ground. He's a big guy. I expect for him to try to fight for extra yards. And if you're not careful, he'll break through some of those tackles and make a minimal gain even larger. So the New Orleans Saints have to find a way to get him down on the ground when he does scramble. And also, Quincy Riley will get the start at cornerback this week. Isaac Adams dealt with a hamstring injury. He'll be out of this game. So this is a great opportunity for Quincy Riley to get, an opportunity to be a starter, to see what he can do. We know that he had a forced fumble against the Seattle Seahawks. And last week he came into the game after Isaac Adams struggled, and he played pretty decent. All right, I think he kind of shored up that side. Now, I'm pretty sure he's going to go through some growing pains. You got yourself some veteran wide receivers that have seen it all, done it all with the Giants. So he is probably going to, end up, maybe losing out a play or something like that. But as long as he continues to battle, it should be fine. The offensive line of the New Orleans Saints, I just want them to be able to hold up, try to hold up long enough in order for Spencer Rattler to get the ball out of his hands. I expect for the New Orleans Saints maybe to start with the ground game, try to see if that can be effective, and, not throw the ball with 5 and 7-step drops or anything like that. I expect for them to get the ball out of the hands of Spencer Rattler relatively quickly. So that's up to the wide receivers to be able to get open. This isn't murderous road that they're going up against when it comes to the cornerback play. Of course, we know one of the cornerbacks on the Giants team, Paulson Adebo, former New Orleans Saint, really, solid cornerback, but he's not a lockdown, shutdown corner or anything like that. So, and they also have a relatively decent secondary. So when it's all said and done, I expect for the New Orleans Saints, as long as they don't beat themselves when it comes to penalties and bad special teams play and miss opportunities, they should find a way to win this football game. Now, I think that it's going to be close because both of these teams are kind of mirrors to one another, like especially when it comes to storyline situations and the way that their teams are aligned, for the exception of the defensive line. I just think that the Giants' defensive line is just much better than the New Orleans Saints, especially since Chase Young is missing his 5th game of the season, but I just think that these teams are pretty evenly matched. So I expect an edge of seat type game. I expect for both teams to come out and play well. Both teams have something to prove and a lot of storylines that they can absolve today. If Brian Daboll comes out for the Giants and they win this football game, they might give him more time to be that head coach. Of course, that he is on a hot seat. But if he's doing well coaching Jaxson Dart, he can find himself, extending his time. And as far as extended time when it comes to the Saints, I think Spencer Rattler, if he wins this game, number one, once again, he gets the monkey off his back. But number two, he can finally breathe a sigh of relief where he probably can extend himself some time being a starting quarterback, and maybe some of this Tyler Shuck noise can be, kind of, woosah just a tad bit, right? Just kind of simmer down a little bit. So great opportunity for the Saints. I think the dynamic of Taysom Hill gives them a little bit more of an advantage. So I got the New Orleans Saints winning this football game today. I said on my guy Dash show, he covers the New York Giants. I said that the Saints will win 23-20. I think with the dynamic of Taysom Hill, I'm going to extend it out to 27-20. But let me go ahead and read some of your comments here, and we'll go from there. Thank y'all for being here. 162 people here so far. I ask that you hit the like button. Addison says we're winning today. I mean, I hope so. I hope the New Orleans Saints win today, but it's not going to be easy. I have no faith in Spencer. Sorry. Let me see. Sorry, Martin. They will load the box. Spencer has to pass. I mean, look, it's all good, man. It's all good. But to say that, like, this dude ain't got no redeeming qualities, that's what I can't get down with. Like, the Saints are losing football games, but I think that's the main issue that people have with Spencer Rattler. And when teams start to lose, they start looking at the quarterback. If the Saints were 2-2 with Spencer Rattler, nobody would have these issues. The biggest issue that's glaring that I want people to understand and realize that they have is the fact that the Saints aren't winning and Spencer Rattler hasn't won a game. So I just think if the Saints were 2-2, or even if the Saints were 1-3, I don't think that people would have like their opinions and viewpoints of Spencer Rattler like they do. It's just the fact that the Saints haven't won a game with him as the quarterback. TJ was playing wide receiver yesterday. Yeah, man. Yeah, man. Young Nola. Yeah, I was out there, man. I ended up joining a flag football league for adults. Just kind of to keep myself in shape, man. People know I pretty much speak about this quite a bit. I'm a type 1 diabetic, and my doctor always put emphasis on me continuing to stay healthy. So I just continue to like try to find ways where I can just stay active. Number one, just to kind of keep myself in shape and be healthy, and number two, just to be able to chase around my 6-year-old son. That's something that's extremely important to me. Being here for a long time, to be able to see him grow up and be able to run around the yard with him. So yeah, decided to do a little flag football. Try to keep myself in shape. And on yesterday, I ended up going out there, on the field and kind of just catching the ball a little bit. And I don't know, man, just trying to shake a little bit of the rust off. It's been a hot minute since I played any football at all. So just wanted to kind of shake off a little bit of the rust. And I ain't as bad as I thought I was gonna be, because I haven't played football in quite some time versus like just going outside in the backyard or taking my son on the field and teaching him the ins and outs of playing playing football. So that was pretty cool, man. Pretty cool to be able to do that. I'm actually just trying to look at some stats here, folks. I'm just trying to pull some things up here because I got a little bit of a late start. I was actually looking at the Browns, which I am right now, the Browns and Minnesota Vikings game. I was just taking a look at that. And a lot of people are saying that. Oh yeah, and by the way, that clip. A lot of people are saying that if the New Orleans Saints knew that there was a possibility that Chase Young would be out this long, why didn't they put him on IR? Dr. Morris, is there a chance that maybe the diagnosis wasn't as clear early? Maybe they thought that it wasn't going to last as long as it did. Like, what is the process? Like, how do you find that type of stuff out? How do you find out about a calf injury like that? Like, what are the steps for you to decide like how long a player is going to be out? Like, how does that work out? All right, so that clip that I just showed you all, that's actually a clip from interview I did with Dr. Jesse Morris. He is a sports medicine physician, and he is a guy who kind of broke down the issue that Chase Young could be dealing with, as well as Cesar Ruiz ankle injury, and also pretty much clearing the air of what a turf toe injury is. All right, so man, it's really good stuff right there. Shouts out to everybody that kind of that went and checked out that interview. I mean, it was very informative, man. And I know sometimes when guys get injured, we get frustrated because there's very little transparency when it comes to these organizations. And so I wanted to bring in Dr. Morris, who has been on the show quite a few times, to be able to provide clarity to us about that. So make sure that you check it out. It's on the YouTube channel. It's one of the most recent videos that we did. So I thought it was really good stuff, very informative. So if you want to find out more about the calf injury that Chase Young is dealing with, the different grades of calf injuries that can kind of coincide with the time missed, make sure that you check it out. I would like the Saints to run RPOs and line up Kamara and Taysom in the backfield and mix up the plays. I agree with that. Who that fam from Pennsylvania? My husband is a Giants fan, so it's a house divided today. Was in the dome for the 2015 Classic between the two teams. Better days. Yeah, that was always going to be a classic right there. That's an all-time classic. I mean, you had what? Drew Brees with 7 touchdowns. Eli Manning with 6. I say 220 plus passing yards and 3 touchdowns. Well, if he does that, then I think a lot of people will be quiet on it. I think he'll find success. Today I'm talking Spencer Rattler. I mean, Spencer Rattler has went up against some really talented defenses and talented defensive players over the last couple of weeks, and he's still been able to do his thing. So respect to him. TJ out next, wide receiver 1. Man, shoot, I wish. I wish. I mean, for those, I posted it on the YouTube channel, man. But for those that are here, man, it's just me just around that thing catching the ball yesterday. Like I said, man, just trying to shake some of the rust off. Shouts out to my guy Jeremiah. He's a Broncos fan, man. He's from Colorado, out there, throwing the football to me. And like I said, man, it was pretty fun, man, to be able to know that, I ain't as bad as I thought I was. I'm like, man, I haven't run like that or caught those many, passes as I did out there, like I did. So, I mean, I ain't that old, so that's a plus. Oh man. But yeah, man, I just enjoy just staying active, man. Y'all know if you're on the YouTube channel, I just post me shooting the basketball a little bit or practicing with Paxton in the backyard. Those are the type of things that that I love to do. Just trying to stay active, man. I gotta run after this little boy a little while longer. Let me go ahead. I'm gonna go to X real quick, and I'm trying to see if any reports have come out as far as with injuries or anything like that. But like I said, I've been watching this Cleveland Browns Minnesota Vikings game. They got about 54 seconds left on the clock, and you have the Minnesota Vikings in the red zone. And it's been an exciting game. I think Dylan Gabriel played really well today. All things considered, he stayed ahead of the chains and made some throws, man. Made some really good throws. So credit to him. Going out there. A lot of people haven't really been talking about him being a starting quarterback. Everybody this week mostly been talking about, how Shadir Sanders isn't the backup. So, credit to him keeping, not concerned about the distractions. Man, what a catch. And that Jordan Addison in for the touchdown. Man, what a catch. But I'm trying to take a look at the injury report. Say Chris Olave playing. Well, as far as I know, he's playing. Oh, man, the Browns running the ball. Quinshawn toting that rock. Yeah, Quinshawn Judkins looked really good out there today. A lot of short yardage situations, good pad level, but we already know he was talented, man. He had some little distractions at the beginning of the season. Glad that he's able to work that stuff out and get back to playing football. TJ, I've been watching your videos with your basketball. I think you are the next Michael Jordan. Yeah, right. I'm a type 2 diabetic. Yeah, Kevin, man, that's important. I'm a strong advocate for diabetic health, man. I mean, so many people deal with it on a consistent basis, man. It is tough, but hey, you got to stay active. You got to, eat the right things. So I know sometimes like to partake in like certain things that not, necessarily good for you, but you got to do that in moderations at times. And like I say, just got to keep yourself active, man. It's a never ending battle, but you can win the battle, man, by going out there and staying healthy and making right health choices. So just want to let y'all know that. We got to run the ball, and when we do pass, we got to get the ball out quick. Yeah, A-Camp. I mean, you got to get those quick passes going. Got to get them going. Who winning the game right now? Well, the Minnesota Vikings just scored a touchdown with 54 seconds left on the clock. Carson Wentz threw a pass to the right sidelines to Jordan Addison. So Minnesota's up 21-17 right now with about 25 seconds left. But I don't know if the game over or not. Y'all know sometimes, man, my TV be behind. TJ Beckham Jones with the one-hand snap. Who that says Dietrich. And this is the thing, TJ. You don't miss a shot. That's perfect. Man, I miss shots now. Like I miss shots. Like I be trying to like my goal is to like go around the entire court. Like I've been trying to do that. And I get like 5 in a row. Like I get all the way, there, and then I'll probably make one going back. But I man, it was like one time, I think the last time I was in there, I was like real close. I got to the last shot, which was from the side and missed it. I was like, man. But yeah, man, I mean, it's basically just about staying in shape. And, a lot of the videos that I put out, it is, man, just to tell people, like, man, don't just, when you have like different like health issues and stuff like that, you ain't got to take that stuff, lying down. Can't, you just don't have to accept it, right? I mean, just stay active and, try to, live your life the best way that you know how. And, and like I said, man, you got to think about the people that love you and want to see you around and appreciate your existence. Like I said, I know, because when I first was diagnosed, I mean, I went through a severe state of depression, severe state. And doctor basically just told me, like, man, you can continue to act and pretend like these things don't exist, or you can go out here and try to get yourself healthy. It's like, but I can tell you now, you're not going to be here for long, and you're not going to be here for your wife and son if you're not going to change your life. And that's one of the reasons. I mean, at the time I was like 232. Now I'm down to 208. It's like I said, man, it's a never ending battle. But at the end of the day, I'm trying to win that fight. And if you're dealing with it, don't even have to be diabetes. It can be any type of underlying issue that you're dealing with. I mean, you can shake through, man. I mean, you can become a champion of anything that you go through. So just remember that. Just take it one day at a time and understand Rome wasn't built in a day. Rattler is on 10, but playing his ass. Don't forget, Troy started this same way. Yeah, I mean, look, Spencer Rattler is giving you everything that he has. Is he the future of the franchise? In my opinion, probably not. And it remains to be seen. But I mean, to say that this guy isn't giving it his all, anybody don't feel that, I just think that they just sadly mistaken. Type 2 can be reversible. In South Korea, they discovered new technology that will stop type 1. Well, if they did, set it over here. Ross says he's present. Look, I appreciate you all for being here. And like I said, I had the Saints winning the game 27-20 today. I had it 23-20 before I got the Taysom Hill news. And I was also trying to see who was the actives and who were the inactives in this game. I know it's like around that time where, maybe somebody will report it or say who's going to play, who's not going to play. Tyler Shuck will be active today as the backup quarterback. Taysom will be active as a football player. So, all right, so that's a little bit of a change there. I heard reports about Taysom Hill possibly being a backup, but today you have Tyler Shuck that will be the backup quarterback, and Taysom will be in his Swiss Army role. But good to know that Taysom is probably going to be throwing the football as well. So I said I don't really see too many like injury reports. I think we pretty much know like the usual suspects. Chase Young being out. You also have Trey Palmer, who was put on IR. Isaac Adams is not playing in this game. So we already know Cesar Ruiz, he's dealing with an injury. He won't be in this game. Trevor Penning, I'm pretty sure is going to give it a go unless I've heard otherwise. If anybody heard otherwise, I haven't heard otherwise. So I believe he's going to go ahead and give it a go. So good to see that the New Orleans Saints are pretty much intact. And like I said, it's a great opportunity for Quincy Riley, the rookie out of Louisville, starting a cornerback in the game. So that's good for him. I don't like having injuries, but I think with Caesar out, it might be addition by subtraction. I like Simpkins. I hope he has a great day because the Giants got some dogs on the line. We got to run at them. Yeah, I mean, look, this is a great opportunity for Simpkins too. I know I keep on saying great opportunity, but that's just the reality. Like these young guys who were backups, serving as backups, being installed into the starting rotation. I mean, this is sink or swim. This is do or die. And we know that Cesar Ruiz hasn't played like just out of his mind. So this is an opportunity where Simpkins can actually go out there, provide stability at the right guard position. And if Cesar Ruiz comes back, like you got a tough decision to make. You might have Cesar Ruiz being a backup. If Simpkins can play good enough or well enough to be able to like solidify that position. Like we know that Ruiz was struggling. Like, everybody can see that he was struggling. The Saints may not want to admit that he's struggling, but the reality is we know he's struggling. So it ain't out of the realm of possibility where Simpkins can be the starter going forward. It's not, especially if he goes out there and he plays well. I don't think we'll be seeing Yadam. They trying to get that fort. Trey Palmer picked up has been very disappointing. Yeah, man, the New Orleans Saints, I don't know what they be trying to do with these lemons out here, man. Like getting all these broke down players. I said the joke yesterday. I said the Saints remind me of that mechanic that goes to the junkyard and, he think that he can fix these major issues on a car. Oh, man, it need a new transmission. Oh, man, I can build that. It needs a new engine. Oh, I can build that. And then when you go to his house, he just got a bunch of cars sitting in the front yard. I know y'all know the neighborhood mechanic, man. Everybody went to the neighborhood mechanic. A family member went there. They always had a dude. He come outside, still got all on his arm, got about 10, 15 broke down cars in his front yard. That's what the New Orleans Saints got. The New Orleans Saints are like that mechanic, always trying to purchase lemons and basically just wasting his time and everybody else's time. They need to just try to get guys that work. And I get why they're doing this because they can't really afford anybody that's upright for the most part. So you got to go with gambles because what the Saints are trying to do is to try to get themselves back in cap compliance. They're trying to get guys on rookie deals. They get guys on rookie deals that have to prove themselves. Who are you actually paying? Who are the guys that you actually like extending? You're not really extending anybody, right? Because everybody is on a rookie deal trying to prove that they're worth. So in the meantime, you get guys out there that's trying to fight and scratch and claw and trying to get some money, rather it's from the Saints or somebody else, all the while you can actually go through the draft and maybe, build up your bankroll so you can go in free agency and maybe find some guys that's more credible than the players that you have. I understand why they're doing it. It's just ridiculous and funny at the same time that they're doing this, and they're making it seem like, like we don't know what the heck they're doing. Well, I know what they're doing. I'm pretty sure you know what they're doing. Maybe not everybody. I wouldn't be surprised if the Saints trade Spencer Rattler in the next couple of weeks. I don't think they're gonna trade him, but if he can't provide stability, I can see the New Orleans Saints maybe down the line, maybe allowing him to, I won't say, I'll say it. They probably end up allowing him to go somewhere else. Because if you got Tyler Shuck as your backup quarterback, and more than likely that's the guy you want as your starter, let's just say, for example, if the things continue to be the way that they are, you draft yourself a quarterback, with the top 5 pick. Well, that's that starting quarterback, possibly, or a franchise quarterback, Tyler Shuck, and maybe somebody else. So he will probably be the odd man out. I don't see Kellen Moore and the New Orleans Saints letting Tyler Shuck go. No, I don't see that. So it probably would be like a quarterback that they draft competing with Tyler Shuck for the starting job. Tyler Shuck probably end up starting because of his experience for a couple of weeks. If things don't pan out, then they'll probably put in that rookie. But he'll probably be the odd man out. Because number one, Spencer Rattler is not Kellen Moore's guy. Like, he may like him, but they drafted Tyler Shuck. The Saints organization want Tyler Shuck to be out there. If they had it their way, he would be out there. But I don't think they're gonna cut him in the middle of the season. I don't see that happen. If our team offense going to work on the field, TJ, I hope they fix the offense chemistry, just like Bob the Builder on Nick Jr. television. TJ, they need to step up in the direction for real. Man, yeah, you be killing me, Jeremiah, with these metaphors and examples. He be like, they need to shoot their shot, just like 007 GoldenEye on N60. He always got like a video game reference or like some other reference that it's just funny to me. Let's see. The is Taysom Hill anytime touchdown a lock today. Yeah, man. Taysom Hill being back is an advantage for the Saints. My uncle was that neighbor mechanic you were talking about. Yeah, man. Look, everybody know that mechanic. For real, that's what they got a bunch of guys on the team that ain't doing them no good. Like, getting Jalen Polk on IR all season. Trey Palmer comes there, he get put on IR. Like, what are we doing? Like, it's like what you think. Like, it's not like you putting custom made cars, and expensive cars in a parking garage or something like that in storage. Like, you got a bunch of guys that are kind of broke down. But I see why they're doing it, because they look at Jalen Polk in case they don't pay Chris Olave. And, you got Trey Palmer who can probably serve as that Brandon Cooks role down the line. So I get why they got the guys on the team, but swear to God, he can change a motor and can't fix the starter. Man. Be having your car for about 2 months, talking about the part he need ain't coming yet. It ain't never coming. Give me my damn car. Yeah, you ain't lying. Hey man, you got my starter. Oh, man, I got my guy. My guy told me that it was gonna come in the next couple of days. He was like, man, it didn't come in on a shipment. He said he went all the way to the back of the truck, and he thought maybe it was back there because when they first put the inventory in, but it went back there, man. But I tell you what, I'm gonna call you in the next couple of days, and I guarantee you're gonna have your car fixed. Like, everybody had that neighborhood mechanic. Everybody. See, I grew up on that neighborhood mechanic. What's up, bro? And how's it going, Saints fans? First win Sunday today, baby. Yeah, hope so. The Saints better win today, because if they don't, ladies and gentlemen, it's gonna be rough, man. It's gonna be rough. Like, a lot of people gonna be extremely upset, extremely frustrated. They're gonna want some heads to roll. And honestly, I'm concerned about Spencer Rattler in that case, man, because if he can't win this game against the Giants, people are gonna be sitting up there saying, man, if you can't beat the Giants, then who can you beat? That's the way it's gonna go. That's how it's gonna be. Like, man, if you can't beat the Giants with a rookie quarterback, like, even though, like I said, football is the ultimate team sport, but at the end of the day, nobody cares about that. Nobody cares if you're not winning a football game. Nobody cares about that. And I'm trying to actually look for the game, trying to turn to the channel here that the game is on. But yeah, he got to win. Like, if you don't win, then you just open yourself up to scrutiny. And like I said, you are going to be the fall guy. Hey, what do y'all think about these games, these NFC games being on CBS? Like, the majority of the Saints games this season have been on CBS. TJ have to predict who will win. Yeah, I think my prediction was 27-20 Saints. I got the Saints winning. Cedric Boyd playing with your liver like that. And they have to win strong today. I don't think they have to win strong. I just think they have to win, period. Because at the end of the day, like, people just want to see a win. Like, nobody remember what the score was, where like in a couple of weeks. No, like, nobody remembers. Like, all they remember is that you won the game. Who did you beat? So he don't have to do that. I can see Spencer Rattler in a Bengals uniform. I don't see that happening, bro. I don't. I really hope we make some open field tackles this game, and I hope Kool-Aid doesn't get burnt too bad. Well, look, this is a favorable matchup for him. Like I said, I mean, these wide receivers are not scrubs for the Giants by no stretch of the imagination. But at the end of the day, you got to be able to win this matchup. Maybe generate a turnover or something. Now, it's not like Jaxson Dart can't turn the ball over. I've watched my fair share of Jaxson Dart games. He can turn the ball over and give you one. You just got to be ready to catch it from time to time. But I do feel like, you better be ready to tackle him. He's not one of those guys that are going to try to just go down because you tackle him. He's going to try to, like, break through. Saints game should be on Nickelodeon if we don't win today. Well, the way they playing, TJ, any chance we pull back up at the Little Easy or not this season? Man, I want to be able to pull up. Honestly, I was going to do it in week 1. And, man, they told me anytime that I would like to come through and slide through, I can. But, I mean, I definitely plan on coming to, a few Saints games this season. I mean, I know they got a few more home games, but I plan on coming to the games, and I'll keep you posted. I hope Kendra has a big game. He's finally coming into his own. Yeah, I hope so too, man. I would like to see Kendra actually, go out there, play well, and try to do his thing, man. Try to do his thing. Let's see. Eminem says can't have a name like Kool-Aid and be Pooh. Team steady trying this dude. Him and Alante embarrassing in coverage. I miss a Devo. Yeah, I mean, look, Alante not that bad, not as bad as Kool-Aid has been. Alante is more. I wouldn't be surprised if the Saints end up like making Alante Taylor like a safety, because that's kind of like his wheelhouse. They got him as a nickel, but I just think that he's more of a safety, in my opinion. So I wouldn't be surprised in the next couple of years, rather it's with the Saints or some other team, that his position ends up being a safety. And man, you got the same crew for the last 3 weeks calling this Saints game. Dang, that's crazy. I bet these guys like, man, can we go to another game other than the Saints? They've been doing the Saints game for the last 3 weeks. Devin McCourty, what was that? Charles Davis, and the commentator. Man, it's crazy. But like I said, Jaxson Dart, like, he only had 111 yards last week and 2 total touchdowns. So, but I expect for them to open up this playbook today against the Saints. So I expect for him to go out there and, like, sling that ball around. All right, so, man, like I said, once again, I think that the New Orleans Saints are going to win the game 27-20. I expect for them to play much better than they did against Seattle. I don't expect for this to be a blowout. So, and then once again, like, the Saints are going to have to get the ball out of Spencer Rattler's hands quickly and make sure that, these wide receivers be able to make plays, man. I know none of them yak getters. I don't think the Saints got a yak getter. And also, man, I'm just hoping that maybe this the game. It's been 5 weeks. It's been 5 weeks since the New Orleans Saints have made the trade for Devon Bailey. Where the hell had he been? Like, if you can't get it together in 5 weeks, you can't get on the field after 5 weeks, like, understanding the playbook, being a part of the team. Like, that's a problem to me. Like, and the way that the Saints, like, made that trade for him, it made it seem like he was going to be a part of this rotation. And the fact that he's not, like, that's extremely concerning. So they're going to have to figure this thing out. They're going to have to figure this thing out, man, because Hey, he up here wasting roster spots. I don't want to see Devon Vele get active in this game. Like maybe line him up in a slot. Maybe convert a couple third down plays. Maybe be like a little bit of a sure target, especially like, with Juwan Johnson dealing with an injury and stuff like that. Him being labeled questionable for the game. So he got some issues going on with him. So why not try to utilize somebody like Devon Vele, who has been on the team, and everybody talking about how good he is and how talented he is and all that kind of stuff. But the Saints that are active, Juwan Johnson, Trevor Penning, Dylan Radins are all active. Healthy inactives, Devin Neal, Xavier Truss, and Christian Voigt. Players that are ruled out, Cesar Ruiz, Chase Young, Isaac Adam, of course. So those are the players that are out. Once again, Devin Neal, a healthy scratch. I don't understand that at all, man. I don't understand why they don't want to utilize the young man, like at least in special teams or something. I don't know why they don't want to get this man on the field, but hey, they're trying to get the fans fully on their side by bringing Taysom back today. Well, look, Taysom Hill is a fan favorite. I'm just shocked that they're actually playing. Well, no, I'm not. When I seen them on the list, I'm like, yeah, they probably gonna end up playing. Like I couldn't see them like returning to practice like that if they weren't gonna play in the game. Alante, man, I love that cat, and I've always said as a safety, that's where they should have coached him. It just seems natural to his game. Yeah, I agree. I mean, he's a good tackler, really good blitzer, and the secondary. So yeah, and a sound tackler for the most part. They get Taysom Hill back today also at the right time when you need him. The Giants finna be the easiest team we played all season. The gauntlet is over. Time to go on a run. Starting with the New York Minis. Look, I don't underestimate any team, especially when I know the Saints aren't that good. This is like, I don't want to have that conversation because even though we talk about like the Giants, I mean, being honest, the Saints aren't that good either. So it's not out of the realm of possibility for the Giants to win this football game. But I just think that if the New Orleans Saints can eliminate the penalties, if they can, stay disciplined, make plays when the plays present themselves, they should be able to do enough to win. Yeah, Vele needs to be on the field, especially in red zone. He already got a touchdown. Yeah, I mean, look, here's the thing, Chosen. I don't just want to see him on the field in red zone situations. Like you made this trade. You traded a 4th round and a 7th round to bring this guy in. He's just been collecting dust on the bench. And, why not put him out there? It's not like any of these wide receivers are making it so difficult that he can't see no playing time. Like all of these guys have been lackluster from Chris Olave, from Shaheed, Brandon Cooks. Like all these guys have been lackluster. So it's not like, oh man, we can't try. It's not to a point where you can't try something different. I don't get it, man. I don't get why they don't have this man out there. Man, why do our fans have the nerve to think that it's a lock that will win today? Yeah. I ain't about to set myself up for that type of disappointment. Not in 2025 when it comes to the Saints. I can't guarantee nothing from this football team. I don't know what this team gonna look like from week to week. Last week they played like discipline. Probably in other situations they probably would have ended up winning a football game if they weren't playing against Josh Allen. They put us on CBS, Fox, ABC, NBC, ESPN, NFL Network, BBC. We playing. Yeah, man. Look, I don't know if that like you remember like AFC games mostly was on CBS, and then you had NFC game mostly on Fox. But now it don't even seem that way. It just seemed like the networks just get the games at random now. Like it's no like, oh, AFC dominant channel, NFC dominant channel. Now they just play like all the games. So I don't know how that works out. I don't know how that come about. I don't know how they do that now. Like, cause it just seemed like you'll see like a game of the week that's 2 NFC opponents be on CBS. Like that's kind of rare and weird now. So I don't know if, okay, man, we're going to pick them at random. Y'all got these games. Fox, y'all got these games. ESPN, they'll probably mostly try to give them the most appealing games because it's prime time. But Saints game not even on. No more. I'm on the golf. I'm on the golf course. Hopefully we can go there and play like a functional NFL team and get a win. Yeah, hopefully. Let me find out Fox don't want the Saints. But it don't seem like it. I mean, over the last couple of weeks, how many Fox games has the New Orleans Saints had this season? The Cardinals game was on CBS. 49ers game. Now, I don't think they had a Fox game all season. I don't think the Saints had a Fox game all season. Because, Seattle game was on CBS. Last week game against Buffalo was on CBS. And today's game on, they haven't played a game on Fox all season. I mean, the only game make sure. But the only game I can remember that could possibly have been on Fox could have been that 49ers game. But even, let me see. What channel was that on? Take a look at this schedule. Because I think all the Saints games this season, all of them have been on CBS. Yeah, all of them. All of them have been on CBS. That's crazy. Okay, so the 49ers game was on Fox. Okay, that was the only game that was on Fox. I'm like, okay. Yeah, all the rest of the games have been on CBS. All right, so I'll stick with y'all for the first couple drives here of the game. Ball is kicked off, bounce, return. Look like Devon Vele trying to get around the side. He ain't getting nothing. So they're going to start at about the 8-yard line. So really good special teams by the New York Giants. Got the Saints backed up to start the game. Out comes Spencer Rattler. Look, we all know the story. 0-10 as a starter. 4 touchdowns, last season. 5 touchdowns this season, only 1 interception. And now he's trying to lead out the Saints offense to try to start this game. Kellen Moore on the sidelines. 1st and 10 for the New Orleans Saints. Alvin Kamara in the backfield. They send Shaheed in motion. Here's the play action pass. Throws down the field, and that pass sails over the head of Rashid Shaheed. That pass is incomplete. That brings up 2nd and 10. So the New Orleans Saints tried to take a shot down the field on the first play to Rashid Shaheed, but it sails over the head of Shaheed. So that's going to bring up 2nd and 10. All right, 2nd and 10 for the Saints. Juwan Johnson in motion. They also send Shaheed in motion again. They hand it off to Alvin Kamara. He gets up the field. He gets about 2, maybe 3 yards on the play. So that's going to set up a 3rd down for the New Orleans Saints. So big time 3rd down for the Saints as we look at Taysom Hill being back, Foster Moreau being back. 2 guys that started the season on the PUP list. And now it's 3rd and 6 for the New Orleans Saints. You got Spencer Rattler in the gun, Alvin Kamara in the backfield with him. They send Devon Vele in motion. And there's a flag, so it's a false start. More things change, the more they stay the same for the New Orleans Saints. All right, so Juwan Johnson called with the false start, which, I mean, come on, man. We already know. It's the same old song and dance. just start the drive off 1st and 15, 1st and 20, it seems, for the New Orleans Saints every drive. 3rd and 11 for the Saints. So could have been 3rd and 6, but instead it's 3rd and 11. All right, so here we go. Rattler looking, throws the ball, and that pass is knocked away by Holland. So really good defensive play right there by Holland. And he's fired up on the sidelines. And now the Giants are going to get the football after the Saints are going to have to punt. So kind of a late throw by Spencer Rattler, to be honest with you. But tried to step up in a pocket, trying to wait for Chris Olave to get, to get into his break, but incomplete pass. So 4th and 11. All right, so here we go. Kyle Kruger out there for the punt. Here's the punt. He gets it off. Pretty short right there, man. But it takes a Saints bounce, and it's going to be at about the 40-yard line. So the New York Giants are going to start at the 40, and out comes Jaxson Dart in his second start as the Giants quarterback. And we know that the last game that Russell Wilson played in was against the Kansas City Chiefs. Lackluster performance. So it opened up opportunity for the Giants to start Jaxson Dart. They went out and pulled off the upset against the Los Angeles Chargers, who are an undefeated team last week. So here we go. 1st and 10 for the Giants. You got Jaxson Dart in the gun, Cam Scatterboo in the backfield with him, and a quick pass right here. This is to Robinson on a screen pass, and really good tackle right there by Alontae Taylor. So Alontae Taylor, who was actually guarding the outside wide receiver, ends up going to the inside and able to get the tackle before that play could have ended up being, very, very plentiful and meaningful for the Giants. So 2nd and 5 for the Giants. Once again, you got Jaxson Dart in the gun. Cam Scatterboo in motion there. He's looking. All right. Instead, he throws the ball down the field. This is to Bellinger, and it looked like it was a fumble, but I don't think so. They said he was down by contact. Johnson. All right, so Johnson in the middle of the field, saying that he was down by contact. I was right the first time. That's Bellinger. Bellinger gets down the field, and he's saying that he fumbled the football, but I think he was down by contact. So 1st and 10 for Jaxson Dart and the New York Giants. Ball at the Saints 40-yard line. Play action. Looking some more. Instead, he takes off and runs, and he slides. And that's going to bring up 2nd down. And like I said, man, during the prediction show, this is a guy who can get outside the pocket. He can scramble. And and that's the one time he slid. But there are going to be opportunities in this game where the Saints are going to think he's going to slide, or he's going to give himself up, and he's going to fight for extra yards. So 2nd and 4 for the Giants. Jaxson Dart in the gun, and they hand it off to Cam Scatterboo. Cam Scatterboo gets up the middle, fights, and he gets enough for the 1st down. So 2 first downs on this drive for the Giants. 2 consecutive 1st downs for the Giants here. Yeah, so Third and 1. Okay, so instead of giving him the 1st down is actually, they're going to give him 1st and 10. They yelled out 3rd down, but I guess, they looked at it and gave him the 1st down. So the New York Giants with their third down conversion, second 1st down on this drive. And you got Jaxson Dart in the gun again. In the backfield alongside him is Cam Scatterboo. Here's the snap. Play action. Looking. Pass caught. That's to Robinson again. He cuts and gets up the field. He's tackled by Demario Davis. So, once again, a quick pass to Robinson on a wide receiver screen. You have Demario Davis makes the tackle, but it makes it 2nd and manageable. And if you don't run the football effectively, throwing those screen passes, getting up the field, they're almost like an extension of the run. So 2nd and 4 for Jaxson Dart and the New York Giants. You got Dart under center this time. All right. So Jaxson Dart making the adjustments at the line. Got Cam Scatterboo in the backfield. And here we go. Here's the handoff to Scatterboo. Scatterboo fighting. And he was able to get a few yards, maybe 2 yards. So he's going to set up like a 3rd and 2 for the Giants. New Orleans Saints trying to at least force the Giants to a field goal. This has been a really very impressive opening drive for the Giants. Get the 3 and out on the Saints. Now they're trying to cash in with a touchdown. They don't want to get a field goal. But 3rd and 2 for Jaxson Dart and the Giants in the gun. Alongside him in the backfield, Cam Scatterbull again, looking. Instead, he throws the ball, and that pass is tipped away by Kool-Aid. And they're calling a flag. And they say it's a flag on the play. They're going to talk about this. But Kool-Aid is like, man, what can I do? Seemed like it was pretty bang if you ask me. I don't know, man. I don't agree with this at all. Man, I mean, I don't know, man. Look, that's ridiculous. Man, he got there right on time. He got there on time. Like, come on, man. You can't play better defense than that. That is absolutely ridiculous right there. But, you know, that's ridiculous. 1st and 10 for the Giants. Slayton in motion. And play action. Looking. Throws the ball downfield, and that pass is caught. But they're saying that it's incomplete. Or they're saying that he actually caught it. They're actually having a conversation. And that's incomplete. That is an incomplete pass. That is incomplete by the letter of the law. It should be incomplete. Throw the flag, Kellen Moore. And Kellen Moore does throw the flag to challenge this play. That was ridiculous by that play by Kool-Aid McKinstry. That was ridiculous. That was clearly not pass interference. Like and those are the type of plays to me that kill drives, kill momentum, and also give other teams advantages. Like, who knows if that was 4th and 2, they probably would have kicked the field goal instead of them like trying to still keep a drive alive. Say, yeah, Kool-Aid, come on, man. Nah, that Kool-Aid, that was perfect. That was perfect coverage. I can't get the game, and I live in the Gulf Shores, Alabama. NFL is out of touch with their fan base. This referee crew is bad and will be a problem all game long. Yeah, I don't know how you can actually play any better when it comes to the coverage. I really don't. The first time 2 NFC teams playing in the Super Bowl. They say, hi, TJ. What's going on, Bucks? Let's see. They just went 3 and out, the Saints. Yeah, that was quick. That was quick. I mean, that game plan was, first off, that game plan was just garbage. You start off with a play action pass. I get it. Because most teams, they think you're going to start off with a run. Like, okay, they're going to run the football, but that just wasn't good to me. It wasn't a good series. But like I said, I mean, you can't underestimate any team. That's why, like, people are like, oh man, the Saints should win. It's a winnable game. Like, the Saints aren't a good football team right now either. I just used YouTube TV free trial for 21 days. It gives you NFL game access, then make another email. We play 4-5 slide today. This team is crazy how Mickey Loomis still have a job. He got this team looking weak. And I know some DC high school football teams that could beat this team, TJ. Yeah, they not. Yeah, they're not very good, man. That's why when people are like, oh man, the Saints should at least, like, the Saints are the should at least team. You know what I'm saying? Like, when a team's struggling, like they should at least beat the Saints. That's where the Saints are right now. It's just uncharted territory for a lot of Saints fans out there. But this is where the Saints are. Like they not good. They're gonna make mistakes. They're gonna look sloppy. They're gonna look undisciplined. They're gonna give up big plays because that's what bad teams do. All right, so they called it a completed pass. The call on the field stands. Of course it does, because the Saints are the team that challenges. So, of course, they're going to do that. I don't know. It's just one of those things where, seems like the referees want to keep bad teams worse. And don't want to do them no favors. But here's the play action. Hand off to Bellinger. Wide open. I mean, wide open with Johnson in for the touchdown. So just like that, the New York Giants just drive down the field, make it about as easy as I don't know what for the New Orleans Saints defense, and they get on the board. So the score now is 6-0. So just like that, man. I mean, about as easy as it can be. I mean, this dude was wide to freak open. Like nobody was around him. It's like pitch and catch. But once again, here we go. Snap, placement, kick on the way, and good. So the New York Giants have a 7-0 lead on the New Orleans Saints. And I'm telling you right now, like the New Orleans Saints, this is going to be, I'm telling you, this is going to be like one of them games. It's very early, but it's one of them games, man, where this defines your season. This defines your season. LOL, we got Tyler Ish. Saints secondary is so trash. Wow. I'm predicting Giants win 28-10. We lose this game, then what? If the Saints lose this game, Chosen, and man, I think this is like the time where you got to start like looking around your team and figuring out what your future really is going to look like. Like I think that if they lose this football game, I think Tyler Shough might start next week. I think if they lose this game today, then Tyler Shough start next week. I mean, like I said, it's very early, not over yet, very early in the game, but if they can't get the job done, today. I'm telling you, folks. I am telling you. Like, there's no need. Like, honestly, that would be like no need for like Spencer Rattler. Like you already pretty much know what the deal is. Like you already know. So you might as well just go out there and you got yourself another home game. So put Tyler Shough out there. Like I said, you got to have a conversation after that. Yeah, I bet they did score every team. No, when they play the Saints, get up on them. They can't come back. Oh, yeah, this team hasn't started with a lead. This team is ass. Hot Boy Nola reposted this stream. Heard some vets might get traded. I mean, that's when you're going to have to start looking. I mean, your season's pretty much over. Like, I mean, your chances of going to the playoffs starting off 0-4 is slim to none. But going 0-5, you might as well just go ahead and start looking around and seeing what you can actually get. Because, I mean, that was just about as easy as I don't know what, man. Theo Johnson, like, wide the free open. Like, just undisciplined football. But the New Orleans, let's give them – I'll give them a chance. The fact is, the Saints always start the game off. Seem like they start every game off slow defensively, and then they kind of settle in. So let's see if they can actually do that. So you got Velus Jones taking a knee, so the Saints are going to start at the 35-yard line. So much better field position for the New Orleans Saints versus the opening drive. And the special teams of the New Orleans Saints just continue to struggle and be terrible. All right, so Taysom Hill is in the game now. All right, so Spencer Rattler on the sidelines, Taysom Hill in the game at quarterback. And I'm pretty sure you're going to see quite a bit of this throughout the game. Let's see. So 1st and 10 for the New Orleans Saints. Taysom Hill on the field at quarterback. So 35-year-old Taysom Hill. All right. Instead, Alvin Kamara gets the snap. And of course, there's another flag on the play. So what is it? Illegal procedure, illegal formation, holding penalty. What we got? You know, the most alarming thing about this is you're at home. Like, everybody's quiet for the most part. All right. So you're at home, man. Like, man, this team just so undisciplined, man. Like, just so undisciplined. That's the frustrating thing about it. So now Taysom Hill goes to the bench, 1st and 15. Man, it's pathetic. All right, but a good run right there, by Alvin Kamara. Like, I don't know, man. I don't know. Let's take a look. Alvin Kamara getting up the field, making people miss, doing whatever he can. Fuaga, what the heck you doing? How about turning around and pushing some people forward? 2nd and 4 for the New Orleans Saints. So really good run right there by Alvin Kamara, getting the Saints back into a respectable 2nd down. All right, so Shaheed in motion. They hand it off to Alvin again. This time he gets stonewalled in the backfield for absolutely no gain, and that's Abdul Carter. So this is going to set up 3rd down for the New Orleans Saints. So let's take a look at what happened here. All right, so looked like somebody may have whiffed on a block. I don't know if it was supposed to be Fuaga blocking on the outside, Simpkins on the inside, but I mean, guy was pretty much, just had just wide open tackle. Nobody tipped him or anything. 3rd and 5. Vele in motion. Here's the snap. Looking. Rattler steps up. Big hit. Takes a big hit. And that pass is intercepted, but there's a flag on the play. So that's going to be pass interference. That's going to be pass interference where you had Rashid Shaheed trying to come back to the football, and the defender ended up holding him. So that's going to be a pass interference. But they're saying the ball is tipped, but they're saying pass interference on the defense. So that's a spot foul. So the Saints are able to get out of that situation. All right, so he pulls down Chris Olave. Was the ball tipped? No, but it was just Rattler just took a shot. All right, so the Saints basically got bailed out of that situation. All right, so here we go. Cooks in motion. Here's off to Kendre Miller. All right, good solid run right there. And it's going to bring up a 2nd down. So Kendre Miller, who's been running the ball really well. All right, so here we go. On the 2nd and 8. Pass. That pass is caught. And that's by Chris Olave. He get close to a 1st down. And I don't know, like I said, I'm probably a couple plays back from everybody. I apologize for that. All right, but really good pass and catch right there from Rattler to Olave. All right, so here we go on the 3rd down, a 3rd and 1. And you got Spencer Rattler, and it sneaks it, and they get the first down. All right, so move the chains for the New Orleans Saints as they get a first down on the play. Yeah, I mean, I'm seeing Devon Vele quite a bit in this game. I ain't seen him go his way yet. So him just being out there kind of put my mind at ease. All right, so credit to him, man. I think they need to get this man a little bit more involved. All right, so here we go. 2nd and 4. High snap. Hands it off to Alvin Kamara. He leans forward, gets about 2 yards on the play. And it's going to set up a third down. After this play, ladies and gentlemen, we'll probably the next time you'll hear from me will be on the Bleacher Report. You can come and check out the Bleacher Report immediately following the game. And, of course, we'll be doing the State of the Saints podcast post-game show. So going to go ahead and finish watching the game, and you all have finished watching the game as well. And we'll come back a little bit later. Okay, Spencer Rattler looking, and that pass is caught to Rashid Shaheed. Enough for the first down right there. So it's setting up a 1st and 10. So the Saints are driving right now, thanks to that pass interference penalty. All right, so really good out route there by Rashid Shaheed. So Spencer Rattler, all right, sends Alvin in motion, tries to run, tries to sneak it, tries to get a few yards on the play. So I don't know if that was just supposed to be a busted play or what, or he just decided to take himself to get as much as he possibly can. So here we go, second and 8. You got Spencer Rattler in the gun. Got Alvin Kamara in the backfield with him. Olave in motion. Quick pass, tried to get around the side. That pass is caught by Olave. Olave trying to get up the field. He gets enough for a first down, gets around the corner. So really good run right there by Chris Olave. So I'm liking the play calling so far and how they're utilizing Olave. They're kind of using him a little bit on the move, a little bit RPO action, a little bit of motion going on, trying to distract and fool the defense. So, they're getting he's getting his hands on the football quite a bit. All right, so Taysom Hill is in the game now. He goes in motion. They hand it off to Taysom, and he just gets dropped right away, and that's by Kayvon Thibodeau. I mean, man, look, everybody and their mama know Taysom Hill was getting that football. All right, so Kayvon Thibodeau right there on the spot to take Taysom Hill down for a loss to 4. But that was a terrible play design. I mean, everybody kind of knew that. But anyway, 2nd and 14 for the New Orleans Saints. Rattler gets the snap. Looking some more, throws the ball, and that pass is dropped by Alvin Kamara. Drop. So the drop continues by these Saints players, no matter who it is. Rather it's Olave, rather it's Kamara. He's trying to make a run after the catch. Maybe he's seen Phillips coming down on him, thinking about making a move. So 3rd and 14 for the New Orleans Saints. See if they can actually get a first down here. Or maybe make it a shorter field goal where they can just get 3 points. Alvin Kamara in motion. Spencer Rattler in the gun. Looking. Steps up in the pocket. That pass is caught by Alvin Kamara. He gets it this time, but it is still short. And that's a carry on the tackle. So that's going to set up 4th down, and the Saints are going to have to kick a field goal. So out comes Blake Grupe to put the Saints on the board. 6 of 9 on the season, has a long of 54. We know, that when it comes to long field goals, that's not the issue with Blake Grupe. These short field goals are the ones that he struggled with. But 28-yard field goal Snap, placement, kick on the way, and it is good. So the New Orleans Saints are on the board. The Giants 7, the Saints 3. And now the defense is going to have to go out here to try to see if they can actually get the Giants off the field, get the ball back to the New Orleans Saints offense. Like I said, folks, I'll be back at the post-game show. We'll talk about this game, win, lose, or draw. We do our first post-game on the Bleacher Report. Then, of course, we'll come back with the State of the Saints podcast where we'll hear from you all and take your phone calls and, talk about this game. And hopefully the New Orleans Saints would have come out victorious, even though they're down 7-3 right now in the first quarter. Till next time, all I got to say is, who dat?